my uncle.
Okay,
And
let's,
my dad saw a 2-inch leather belt, was like, oh, this would be great, not to wear.
all right, let's call the meeting to order here this morning. Do roll call. Carl Kaminsky is out. Mr. Kunkel.
Here.
Mr. Reiner.
Here.
Mr. Sega.
Here.
Mr. Scala.
Present.
Ms. Von Bergen is absent today, and I am here, Mr. Kurtz. So,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
okay, all those moved and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, public comment, we have one public comment, Greg Glover. Did I say that right, Greg?
Would be me. So I'm here representing the two organizations, actually, the McHenry County Bicycle Advocates, not to be confused with Bicycle Club, and also Cycling Without Age. We're a nonprofit that we give free rides to seniors all around the county. So I'm not here to complain or request something or do anything. My purpose here today is actually to thank the DOT for being responsive and to be a listener for the public, not just the organizations that I represent. I moved here maybe, 11 years ago. I met Scott at the Active Communities Workshop. Scott's always everywhere anyway. And that's how I first got involved with bicycle projects. And so one of the things that I was really interested in taking on was the Bull Valley Trail Project, which of course had been a concept before I moved here. Gathered signatures, talked to the businesses, whatever. And I thought, oh, well, within 2 years that'll be done, and so it's 10 years later, but it's actually happening. And I wanted to congratulate, I guess, before it's actually ground's been broken here, but that'll happen on that project. But not just, putting the asphalt down, it's the planning that went into it. There's a pedestrian crossing concept that was included in the project. That was genius. I thought, man, what are we gonna do about people getting killed? Trying to cross that, families crossing that Bull Valley Road. Putting that little island in there is a beautiful thing. In addition, that trail represents something more than just 3/4 of a mile or whatever it is between the Prairie Trail and 31. It is the beginning or end, depending on how you look at it, of the Grand Illinois or Millennium Trail, as it's also been referred to by the whatever it is, the Chicago-based Transportation Authority. That'll extend past Moraine Hills all the way through Lake County to Lake Michigan eventually. And so creating a network of trails is really the key. You can't just have segments of trails. I mean, we've got the wonderful, Prairie Path through, that's kind of the Mississippi River of bicycle trails. But creating this then connects things, not only for businesses, and for residents, but for visitors to the county. So it's an economic driver. It's not just a nice to have recreation system. So I wanted to make sure that from a public's perspective, that is really going to be a big deal for the county. A couple of other quick things in terms of being responsiveness to the public. The MC Ride Connect program, I thought that was absolutely genius. How do residents get around in this county? It's semi-rural. There's not a lot of opportunities for PACE to get around to pick up people. We do have the Dial Ride program, but now this Connect program is, I thought, really a future thinking kind of approach. And the last thing was I think this came up maybe a year ago, Scott. You're talking about getting a federal grant to 30 million or whatever it was, to allow then the county to have money to spend on other projects. you know, I met Scott at the Good Communities Workshop. Okay, does he have to attend those things? No. Does he have to go to all these health benefit workshops and so forth? No. So,
We're going to wrap it up real quick.
very good, thank you. I just wanted to say that the listening and responsiveness is to be commendable. So I want to congratulate Joe, your staff, especially Scott and his staff, for what you folks do for the county. Thanks.
Thank you. I was gonna say, when I was talking,
10 minutes.
no other public comment? Okay. Member comments? Okay, routine consent agenda. Would anybody like to move anything off? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve routine consent agenda items 5.1 through 5.8.
Is there a second by Mr. Sager? Okay, any discussion at all? Okay. We'll start off with Mr. Scala,
Yes.
Mr. Sager.
Yes.
Mr. Reiner,
Yep.
Mr. Kunkel,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. Okay, ordinances. Now we're down to the three ordinances. We got to handle them 6.1. We have a motion to approve 6.1. Mr. Shager, Mr. Kunkel seconds. Okay, discussion.
I can't support it, but
I would agree with you. I just don't like this new way we're doing ordinances. But I don't support this one myself either.
there is one I do support, but it's not this one.
Oh, it's on here then.
Wow.
All right, let's move to a vote on that. Mr. Kunkel,
No.
Mr. Reiner,
No.
Mr. Sager,
Yes.
Mr. Scala.
No.
And I'll vote no. We will still move to the full board, to our new rules. 6.2, do I have a motion? Mr. Sager moves, Mr. Kunkel seconds, discussion. That's not the one you support?
That's not the one I support, no.
Okay. All right, let's move to a vote. Mr. Kunkel,
I was on the fence on this one, but I'm going to say yes.
Mr. Reiner,
Yes.
Mr. Sager,
Yes.
Mr. Scala?
No.
And I'll vote no. Okay, motion carries. 6.3, order steps alter speed zone on Ridgefield Road. To remove, motion. Mr. Sager moves, Mr. Kunkel seconds. Discussion. Mr. Scala, this is the one you support?
Well,
Or
so-
it wasn't on here?
So here's my question. I just want to be very understanding of this. So is in fact the speed limit 55 all the way to the four-way intersection by the railroad tracks?
No.
Yes, it is. It's this section of road from Country Club Road west to US 14 is an unposted 55-mile-an-hour speed.
So it's not posted.
No, it's not, but it's 55 mile an hour.
Country Club or Richfield?
So,
Ridgefield.
okay, so I go this way all the time because that's where my church is at. So I would agree that the part of Ridgefield Road from that four-way intersection where it goes over the railroad tracks by the church, outside of because it's residential somewhat out to the bend,
Yes.
should be lower than 55, because that, to me, you can't even drive 55 there. I mean, I don't know how you would, I mean, I guess you could, but, I personally can't, so I mean, that's saying somewhat. So I guess my point would be, I don't, like, when you get by the soccer place, from soccer place, whatever that, I can't remember what it's called, all the way out to 14, to me, should be 55. But I don't think that, it should be 55 all the way to the four-way intersection.
I personally think it's marked wrong.
I live right over there. That's all residential at the Seegers Grain Bin.
Yeah,
that
right.
Intersection. I could be mistaken, but I think it's marked like 30 or something, but.
Well, we're being told
I
it's
mean,
not
there's-
marked at all.
There may be an advisory on the curve sign out there, but there's no speed limit signs on any of that stretch of road.
Well, it certainly shouldn't even be 45. I mean, that's residential there on the one side.
I'm agreeing, so that's
Yeah.
why I guess I would like to see a dual speed zone
Right.
where it's lower in that residential area than 55.
Yeah.
You know, and I would be okay with probably 35 there, but
I would agree
then
with
I
that.
think,
Yeah, then the straight would be 45. Yeah.
Well-
Mr. Kaminsky, is that what you
well, 45 or 55, I'm
Yeah.
indifferent. I mean, you can easily get going to 55 all the way to 14.
Yeah, until you have to slow down for the stop.
So are you asking for a motion to evaluate?
Well, I guess what I would be asking is for staff, if this committee is in agreement that there should be a split speed zone based on what I'm saying, then I guess I would ask staff to come back with that kind of recommendation based on the structure of the road, how many houses are there, and, you know,
So your policy doesn't allow you to drop it any more than 10 miles an hour? In that part of the ordinance?
And if we go through with this and reduce it now,
Months in a row.
it could be brought back to it then.
If we drive to 2 months in a row.
Riley?
Well, we could change the limits of the zone if you want. I mean, I
Okay.
don't think that, I tried to do the whole road from intersection to intersection, but limits can be modified.
Okay.
If you wanted to say go from the entrance at the soccer field to the four-way stop at Country Club, I don't think that's an issue. You could do that as 45, and then the remainder, if you wanted to leave 55, could do that to 55. It would just be a matter of altering the limits on the ordinance.
well, are you saying that we could modify this to make that recommendation?
I mean, you're not altering what the results of the speed limit is, but we could, I don't see an issue with us changing the limits. Do you want to go lower than 45 on that stretch, or?
I personally think probably lower than 45 on that stretch would be more appropriate.
Well, the speed study showed 45, so that's what the recommendation is.
But,
From the DOT.
so I guess my question is where did you set up at?
The fire policy, I set up on the straight section near the soccer place. You're not supposed to do speed studies on curves because it changes the speed of traffic.
Correct.
So I just took the straight section there, and that's where I set and ran the radar.
Well, so, and I guess that's my point. And in that location, I think you can easily get up to, you know, probably 55. But when you come along the bend, you know, by the grain thing and where all the houses are at, I think 45 is actually too fast there. So that's, you know,
But we can only lower by 10 at a time. So we'd have to bring this back twice if we wanted to go worse. We can only go to 45 by,
We need to start somewhere.
Right.
What happens, 55 to 45, I can look at it again next year to see if it maybe reduces lower than that, but I needed to start somewhere. Because it was 55 when posted through that curve, that's the results of the speed study
okay,
was
so
45.
then maybe what I guess I would make a recommendation is that we lower from the four-way intersection to the soccer place to 45 right now. Leave the rest of it 55, and then at whenever the earliest we can come back and look at it again for that section, then I'd be happy to do that.
With one, I'll let Matt go.
I'd like to vote on this as written right here and pass what we have and not make all these alterations. We become a bit hypocritical when we start dissecting their good work, the recommendations to this committee, and other things that we've approved or not approved based on our personal whims or wants, not on what has been done here professionally for us. And I think we vote on this and the 10, and if it's approved, if we look down the road and think it needs further study, then that's a different recommendation.
but if you pass this as is, the whole road goes 45, right?
Understood.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we all understood that.
So did I hear, did you say that there's an advisory sign that says 30 miles at that curve or something, or
I'm just,
35?
I don't know if there is or not, but if there, I mean, that's what you might have seen. There could be an advisory on the curve. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to go out there and look.
So two things are coming to my mind. Either should we suggest an advisory sign there, or if not, could we put this off till next month till, I mean, there's information that we don't
Bradley can
have.
look at it advisory, that is a professional recommendation
Yeah.
of what you put up for advisory.
Yeah, and I
That's
don't
the
want
point,
to
is
dictate
that-
what he does.
Right,
but-
it's advisory, it's
Yeah.
not enforceable, John.
Yeah, well,
And
still,
it's advisory.
still, I mean, if somebody thinks they're going 45 and it's fine, you know, around that curve.
Well, but it's a personal thing,
You know, you're go-
it's a comfort level.
I've never seen, is there accidents there though? I remember when,
No, I
there
don't.
used to be fuel tanks there for Ridgefield gas and everything. My brother-in-law worked for it. I don't remember any problems.
Right. So Bradley can go out there and take a look at it to see if there's any signage changes that are warranted.
We do have an advisory curve, the curve is at 40.
Okay, thank you.
All right, okay, thanks.
Would we like to table this to make a correction on the ordinance? Till next month?
I don't think you need
For
to.
We don't need to?
No.
But you're saying we can vote to go down 10 from
Yeah.
that section?
Yep.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to ask, I know Mr. Kunkel would like to vote on it as is, but I'm going to ask if there's a motion to amend 45 for the section.
Well, that would be what I'd prefer, but, I mean, I don't need to make a motion if no one else supports that.
I support that. So I'll second your motion.
Okay. Yeah.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm modifying this to go from 45 from the intersection of Country Club and Ridgefield to the entrance of the soccer facility to 45 and leave the rest at 55.
So we're voting on the motion first.
Motion to amend first.
Yeah.
That way you don't change the whole road.
I don't understand why, I mean, the recommendation of staff is to change the road, and that part of the adjoining road on 14 there is at 50, is that right?
55.
55.
Is it
that close?
55?
No, it's 55.
No,
US 14 is 50.
Right.
Oh, US 14.
For me, not only do you have the soccer, but you have that Ridgefield Church or whatever that big church is, you know, before 14. Mike, I gotta think that 45 is appropriate here. Honestly, I mean, that stretch, I travel that stretch a lot.
I'm no on the emotion.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever hit 55 on that, then maybe on my motorcycle, but definitely not my car.
The only one hasn't weighed in is Carl. Do you have any opinion on the amendment?
This one, no.
The other two already passed.
Just one clarification, it's actually 45 on US 14. At that
So I
location.
think it's
My mistake.
lower.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
All right, so let's proceed to vote on the amendment first. Mr. Scala,
Yes.
Mr. Sager,
No.
Mr. Reiner,
No.
Mr. Kunkel,
No,
Mr. Kaminsky.
No.
All right, motion fails to amend, and let's move to the motion to approve the reduction. Mr. Scala, all right, Mr. Scala,
Yes.
Mr. Sager,
Yes.
Mr. Reiner,
This,
Mr. Kunkel,
yep.
Mr. Kaminsky.
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. Let's go back to the floor as stated. Okay. New business, staff recognition.
We have two recognitions today, and they both will be done by Maintenance Supervisor Andy Rose.
Morning, everyone. Morning. I have two DOT employee announcements. Katie, come on. Oh.
Morning.
The first announcement is that we recently filled our vacant sign shop crew leader position. The position was internally filled my sign shop employee, Eddie Delatowski. Eddie started with DOT in December of 2019, and with his 5-year anniversary just around the corner, Eddie has worked hard to learn all aspects of highway maintenance, and especially put in extra effort to learn our sign shop practices, which include data input, sign software design, fabrication, and spend extra time in learning our sign shop printer and plotter. Plus, his keen attention to detail has made Eddie a great choice for this position. Eddie currently resides in Genoa City, Wisconsin as a Marengo High School graduate. He has an associate's degree from MCC and completed the Firefighter 2 program at Marengo Fire Department. Eddie and his wife Jamie has 2 children and enjoy taking them mountain biking and riding motocross as well as traveling and camping out. In his spare time, Eddie enjoys working on diesel pickup trucks and spending time in northern Wisconsin helping his father fix up their cabin. So with that, please help me welcome Eddie Delatowski to his new role.
Really appreciate the support, and hopefully I do a good job, make everybody proud.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim? My second announcement is that we recently filled a vacant full-time position in the sign shop. The county DOT is pleased to welcome Jim Shearhorn to our staff as our newest full-time member of our maintenance department. Jim worked with us last year as a winter seasonal, so we knew what we were getting. We liked him, so we wanted him back. Jim currently resides in Woodstock as a Woodstock High School graduate, has an associate's degree from MCC and a bachelor's degree from NIU. In recent years, Jim has lived in Denver, Colorado, and Arizona cities of Tucson and Phoenix. Exploration and travel are also great interest to him, and he recently spent over a month in Europe and Africa. In his spare time, Jim enjoys the social sciences and jogging, hiking, working on cars. He takes the greatest pleasure when giving back to the community and through mentoring and volunteering. So with that, please welcome Jim to our DOT. Any words, Jim?
Thank you for welcoming to the team. I look forward to working with the organization to better service our residents along the county right-of-ways and filling in any gaps that may be needed between, engineering operations. I just look forward to learning just overall how everything functions from here to well out in the field. Just, again, thank you for that opportunity.
Okay, moving down to staff reports.
Yeah, so real quick one, Mr. Hennings has an update on our 5-year program.
Yeah, so typically, most years, we would have a draft 5-year program for you to review today. I know it's a shorter meeting. We actually aren't quite ready for prime time yet, but my hope is that 2 weeks before your October meeting, I'm going to send out a draft for you all to review, and then it'll be on your agenda in October for approval before the end of the year. So that's my timeline today. Just stay tuned, and you'll see something within the next couple of weeks to take a look at. That's it.
Okay, perfect.
That's it?
Anything else? That's it?
Nope, yeah.
We do have in your packet 2 speed studies that were not recommended for change. So just, you might see in your packet under staff report that there's something in your packet regarding 2 sections of roads that were not recommended for any changes. That's all.
Okay. Any need for executive session? I didn't have one.
No, sir.
Okay. Next meeting is October 30th. We will be adding to the agenda the motor fuel tax issue and the MDR issue for discussion. And what else am I thinking? Well, Scott just added this. So, anybody else, anything they'd like to see brought forward? Okay. Nope.
We're gonna have the next meeting at the admin building.
Admin building?
A&B.
Okay. All right. Admin building, next meeting. All those, any motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Mr. Kaminsky gets the motion to adjourn. Mr. Allen gets the second.
I'll say yay.
He worked hard to get here this morning because he wasn't going to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl.
No problem.